and welcome back to another book review. So today we're doing another one by Debbie Macomber, and this one is Jingle All The Way. You'll notice no library stuff on this one, because this one is from my personal collection, and actually was the one that made me fall in love with her as an author. So, also, love the puppy. So this one, basically, the plot on this can be summed up as a comedy of errors. So the main character, Daisy, who does not like to go by Daisy, she likes to go by Everly professionally, because she doesn't think anybody will take her seriously, as Daisy. She has just about had it with her new assistant, because she just cannot get anything right, and she drives her freaking nuts, and she wants her fired. But she's there as a Nepo baby. Her uncle is basically the only thing keeping her there. And her uncle is only keeping her there because he is scared of the niece's mother. So, it is what it is. So he decides instead he's going to send Everly on a vacation, because clearly that'll just buy him time to figure out what the hell to do about this chick and her incompetency. And leaves the assistant to book it somewhere nice for the holidays, somewhere warm, somewhere tropical. Yeah, except for the whole thing that the assistant tries to sabotage her, and she instead books her a vacation on the Amazon River, with no amenities like internet, phone service, anything, so she'll be completely cut off from whatever's happening back at the office, where Everly has taken on way more than her share of the work at said office. Yeah, has her completely cut off from everything. They even have to, limit how many showers they're allowed to take on this 2-week cruise to, 2 a week. Ew. Anyway. Yeah, so she's pretty dang pissed off about this whole thing. She wants off at the first chance possible, and there is no way that the people in charge of this cruise are going to allow it. So it's like, oh, cool, so I'm trapped for 2 weeks of hell. Awesome. And right off the bat, she gets bit by a mosquito, has a horrible, horrific reaction to it, gets major league sick, and Asher, who is not the captain, he's kind of like the head coordinator of all the people on the ship, decides he's taking it upon himself to make sure she's okay, takes care of her to make sure she gets better, because it wouldn't look very good on him or the cruise line if something happens to her. Yeah, and they bond during that convalescing time, really, really quick. It's total Florence Nightingale syndrome, but it is what it is. And even after that, he is kind of taken a fondness to her, so he's kind of giving her special attention. People are noticing as much as they think they're not. They're definitely catching some feels for each other, and it's one of those cruises where anything that could go wrong goes wrong, and he is the savior every time, pretty much. And yet they both keep trying to pull back from each other, because they know that after the cruise ends, they're never going to see each other again, so no use getting emotionally involved in this, because it's kind of hopeless, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Except they both fall really freaking hard for each other on said cruise. But they think that it's hopeless, so they don't really put too much terrible stock in it when it all comes to an end. Except that after it ends, they're both pretty freaking miserable without the other one. Long story short, he ends up deciding, because they decided, since she lives in Chicago, and he's kind of just like a world traveler doing these cruises all over the place, they could never really find a way to make this work outside of this one trip, so there's no point even trying to pursue it as a long-distance thing. However, Asher's brother lives in Chicago, and his brother is always trying to get him to come visit, have any excuse to visit. How convenient, right? But, she's kind of ready to throw away her career for him, to go follow him. He's ready to throw away his career for her, and just be like a university professor instead. They kind of meet in the middle of the two, where she just takes on a far less involved role, and he becomes a university professor. It all ends up fine in the end. Is it kind of predictable from the outset in that regard? Yes, but I think the comedy of errors part of it kind of leaves you guessing the whole time of, oh my god, what else could go wrong here? And how? So that part of it is total comedic relief and made it to where I literally couldn't put this thing down. I really, really enjoyed this one, predictable or not. Most of her books are, in my opinion, kind of predictable, to be honest, but that's okay. That's okay. I can't knock that. As a writer, I am the same way, so I know my shit's the same way. But anyway, I found it very enjoyable. I think of her books so far that I have read, this one has been my favorite. I give it a 5 out of 5. So, I would recommend it, even if it's past Christmas. You know what? It technically takes place over, like, the winter holidays, but it's not really Christmas themed. So, despite the title, despite the cover, you could totally read this book any part of the year and it wouldn't feel out of place. So, anyway. Those are my thoughts on it. Highly recommend. If you haven't read it, you should read it. So, anyway, that is it for this one, guys. So, as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.